Unfortunately, independence in the legislature is not as appreciated as it should be amongst the public. We do not have, as they have in some of the countries we like to compare ourselves with, a public appreciation of the distinction between parliament and government, legislature and executive. Australians still think of government and parliament as one and the same thing, as well they might, given the rigidity of executive control of lower houses, and independent upper houses are still seen as something of an anomaly. While very positive changes have overcome the institution in those 40 years, there have been significant failures to change, or changes for the worse. Party discipline, which is the foundation of executive control of lower houses, is stronger than ever. If anything, it has been strengthened by the new techniques of spin doctoring and news management that governments have perfected. It is now the case, which it was not in the past, that a government party majority in the Senate means government control of the parliament. Apart from party discipline, the trends of modern politics have greatly strengthened the central power within parties in government. The Prime Minister's office, not the Cabinet, is now the supreme governing authority of the country, and seems to have greater power than some ministers. We still have one of the weakest legislatures of the democratic world, especially compared with our great and powerful friends. The Parliament here is under a degree of executive domination that would not be tolerated elsewhere, even at Westminster. We are now told that we live in an age of crises, economic and environmental. In crises, the greatest danger comes from those who claim to know all the solutions and who demand immediate implementation of them. Such people are likely to be found holding executive office. The greater the crises, the more likely it is that mistakes will be made in attempting to deal with it, and the greater the need for scrutiny of proposals based on sound information. The legislature should provide that scrutiny. The Australian Parliament cannot be well equipped to provide that scrutiny when one house is not permitted to make its own inquiries into significant issues and proposals, and the other struggles to make up the deficiency against executive resistance. Parliamentary reform is never more necessary than in this age of crises, and further subordination of Parliament never more perilous. The proponents of openness and scrutiny should be more militant than ever before.